People definitely like to pretend that somehow Marvel Studios has not been one of the most influential factors in Hollywood in the last decade. Now, of course, most people know that they were, considering they spawned about 100 copycats the next couple of years, and they all failed to live up to what Marvel Studios has done. The 100 was an exaggeration, obviously. Learn sarcasm, people. Anyways, now Marvel wants to do the same thing for superhero TV, so let's get to that. Okay, I get it. Some of you think that Batman v Superman and what Zack Snyder has done so far is the greatest thing ever. Marvel Studios will never match it. Marvel Studios is a copycat. DC has done the best job. Some will even argue that X-Men did it better. I'm just saying, nobody's copying those and everybody's trying to copy the MCU. It went from the little studio and film company with losers like Iron Man kicking off an entire franchise to literally being the biggest franchise in Hollywood in a decade. You can't deny what it's done. I mean, you can, and a lot of people do, but sure. Anyways, that all needed to be stated because recently EW was talking with Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios, and they talked about the fact that, look, we're looking at the TV side of things as just longer movies. Same budgets, but more to tell, more time to explore these characters. And then along those lines, they also talked about how Marvel Studios changed the superhero genre. They came into Hollywood and said, this is what we're offering, and they offered it to multiple studios. They said, we want films that are all interconnected, that reference one another, where characters could pop up in these films, where they could help each other, and then we want to do the Avengers. Everybody laughed at them, everybody turned it away, and then they did it on their own as an independent studio before Disney bought them because they saw the potential, and we are where we're at. Now Marvel Studios said they want to do the same exact thing with superhero TV. They want to perfect the superhero blockbuster TV series. Now, I know some people will say, well, the CW has done that, haven't they? They have the Arrowverse, it's all connected, and technically it's part of the DCEU. Sure, but does the CW show look like an expensive MCU or a DCEU film? No, because there's a clear discrepancy. Is there a chance that Ben Affleck's Batman is going to show up on the Arrowverse? Is there a chance that the Green Lantern from the HBO stuff is John Diggle? Probably not. Whereas Disney Plus, if you look at what they're doing with WandaVision, what they're doing with many of the shows and characters, and what they've done with Mandalorian, it looks like it's a legit big budget production. What they said is they want to do the same type of thing, where there is no barrier, where if you're watching a TV series, you feel like you're watching a movie, and if you're watching that big budget movie, it feels like it might as well be a series, and they can go one to another without any giant discrepancies, which is something that happens. Because imagine how it would look if Ezra Miller's Flash had a bigger part in the Crisis on Infinite Earths. And then we get to the Flash movie and suddenly we get that same exact scene inserted into the middle of it. It would look jarring because the special effects on the CW will pale in comparison to what's being offered on the big budget movie. Marvel Studios looks to change that and redefine that because they want it all to be seamless. They want you to be able to pick up any of them, watch any of it, and it all exists in the same universe, and it all looks uniform and big budget, and it all looks like it's worthy of the Marvel Studios name, which is probably why they kicked out all the Marvel TV shows so far that were made.